Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome back to the multiplayer server. This is the Patreon multiplayer server once again, and today I am joined by, I should say, Donald. Donald's here with me. We're just doing a little bit of chaffing. We picked up a Crone Big X, as you can see, obviously, and we're gonna go ahead and chaff up this field right here. It's field number 10. We picked up a couple new fields since last time as well. We got 4, 11, 23, 10. I don't think we picked up any new ones since then, so this is what we're going to rock a little bit today. Chaffing's always fun on a multiplayer server, although it does get done quite a bit. That's just because it's one of those activities that works really well for multiple people, so keeps everything really, it's one of those nicer things you can do at least, so to make sure everyone's kind of involved, because sometimes what happens is you get people who are doing one thing and another thing, so it just depends. So I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun on the server, keeping the pace moving. We fired up the BGA not too long ago, and because we fired up the BGA, it has been a nice, really good source of money. I forget how much money that actually gives you, but it gives you a crazy amount of money. And that's the reason why we're able to afford the good old Crone Big X. So that has been pretty nice. Oh, I am following the path. I didn't think I was. What I'll do is just do this, and then I'll back up again. I guess we'll do a headland first. He's following me anyway, so. Okie doke. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been funny because like everyone's been like popping on the server like off and on. Just depends on the time. It seems like I tend to be on really early in the morning when it's when I tend to play farm sim anyways, like before work sort of idea. So that's when I'll hop on and do a couple things. But it's kind of funny because no one else is up usually around that time. So, and that's one of the reasons why I never really did a lot of multiplayer before, because I tend to be up and doing things before the people even get out of bed sometimes. Oh, like in their time zone, for example, like Mike, for example, it's 3 hours, he's like 3 hours behind, so it's like 7 a.m. for him, so he may be up, but probably not in the mood to hop onto the server and play some farm sim, so. And that's pretty typical, really, so. I don't know how full Donald's trailer is. We're gonna find out here in a second. But yeah, the BGA extension is, I forget how like OP it is what I want to say, really. Because of how much you can actually get, how much money you can actually make from it. Like, you can make quite a lot of money. So now the funny thing is, I don't know how much soil mod affects. I'm not sure how much it affects the yield you get from chaffing. That's one of the things, like some of the little things like that I'm not really certain of, because I don't do a lot of chaffing work in single players, with soil mod at least. So it'll be kind of curious to see how it all works out in the long run there. Turn that down just a smidge. There we go. But I don't know. If you know, let me know if you know the answer to that question. Let me know, because I'm not 100% sure. Like right now, the nutrients on this field are X7, X2, weed prevention 2 days. Moisture is 72%, which is really high moisture actually. Probably shouldn't be that high in reality. It should be a lot lower than that. Oh, looks like Donald's full. So this is where having multiple people works really well. I'll just tell them to put it in the biogas plant. Let's see, biogas side is north side of field 3. I think it was. Yeah, north side of field 3, and we'll see how that goes. So as you can see, this is what has been my current setup right now for the BGA. It's just been working really nicely, keeping it full and topped up. Right now with the BGA, we are producing 643 kilowatts, which isn't too bad, with a feeding rate of 150%, which isn't, I guess it's probably a bit more than it needs to be. Total solids in the fermenter is right on the money. That's where we want it, about 11-12%, somewhere in there. Some people say between like 11 and 15%, I think, but for me, I try to keep it around 11%. One thing that's kind of strange, and I'm not sure the reason why, this says it's only a capacity of 20,000 liters, and I have no idea why it's doing that. It might be a server side issue. I don't know for certain. That it's just the way it's been working out. So I guess Donald started harvesting the corn here by accident, but I wanted to chaff. I guess wasn't being super clear about it, so I guess I should have been. What do I want to do? I want to go to this guy and then put him in group 2. There we go. It's funny. I think as the server admin, I think the only person I can put things into groups is like the server admin, and I'm pretty sure that only the server admin can actually, you know, I think they can only buy things and reset things as well. So I don't know. Where is this? By the mix station, and Donald's in the other one. Okay. So what I'll do is, while Donald's heading over here, I'll just drop this right here. We don't need that up attached at the moment. What I'll do is I'll unload that combine while we're just waiting here for the time being. It's funny, I forget how dirty things get in game. It's ridiculous. Like, without any kind of mods that adjust like how dirty things get, like drive control actually adjusts, I think, how dirty things can get. So for example, put my beacons on here so you can see. Oops. So I did forget how dirty things get. Like with drive control, there's a module that like decreases how fast the dirt accumulates on tractors and whatnot. So I'm used to having that, but when I came on the server, like for the very first time, it was kind of like, okay, let's see how this works out. And I didn't realize how dirty things were going to get. Like, it's ridiculous, it seems like. I used to have I think it's the no, that's the, I'm thinking different mod. A brownie mod it's called. Basically, the brownie mod would wash your equipment at midnight every night, which I thought was awesome, because I don't really care for using the power washer too much. But some people really like that, so to each their own, I guess, right? It's not really one of my particular things that I'm overexcited about doing every single time, but some people are, so that's cool. Doesn't bother me at all. Alright, so let's go ahead and unload this combine right here. We're gonna grab, that should be good. Perfect. Combine doesn't even need to be running for that to work, actually, apparently. In real life it definitely would be, because that's how the auger is powered, but in the game, doesn't make a difference at all. Which is, you know, typical farm sim style, right? Looks like Donald's heading back. Well, not quite. He's probably compacting that. So the funny thing about this is, see how they have these doors up here? These doors actually need to be, they should be opened, but you don't actually need to open them, so watch. So if I drive over here, I can unload this corn into there without even opening up the doors, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But alright, let's make this turn here. So I think right now we have, wow, that was close. Right now we have, I think it's two cornfields. We got field 4 and field 10, and that is more than enough for the time being. That's what I'll do. It's funny. Only on the server have I actually been washing things. I'm not the only person. I mean like, this is the only place where I've really ever done any kind of power washing of equipment. And I'm so lame about it. I just keep it in one spot because I know that's where it cleans the equipment, and then I just leave it in that one spot. I don't be like, you know, in real life, of course, you know, washing your equipment is pretty important, but in the game, it doesn't make a difference at all. And some dirt skins on tractors are really, really bad. Really bad. Okay, that's that. So, like, this is the age-old, you know, power washer. See, it's always where the symbol is. It's like, you know, in this case, it's the New Holland symbol, and just leave it there and just hold it down until it looks like it's finished. I'm sure there's been a couple times, or more than once now, where I've power washed a piece of equipment and I haven't fully cleaned it off. Yeah, I think that trailer's okay still. It's got a little bit of dirt in the tires, but I'm not worried about it. Some people may be worried about it. I'm not. Not at all. Also, we picked up the Eagle... Is it the Eagle Vista? Yeah, it is the Eagle Vista. Really nice sprayer. Makes having the soil mod so much easier. Because, you know, with the soil mod you have to do a lot of spraying, and having that capability is really nice. To do 40-meter spreads just makes a huge difference. There we go. Donald's on his way back. Excellent. Get ready to fire this guy up again. We'll just continue with our headland here. So this is where having multiple people on the server would be kind of nice. So you can just continue going instead of having to, you know, wait for a bit. But you know, it's the way it works sometimes. 1 second, coffee break. Well, it's not the best coffee now. It was pretty good when it was first made, but that's like the last little bit of coffee. Ah, well. Donald's he's cutting through the field. You can see it. Is he cutting through the field? No, he's trying not to. Normally I'd just cut straight through the field, but with the drive control mod, of course, if you cut through the field, you'll definitely know. I've done it before by accident, like, you know, okay, we'll just, you know, drive through the field, whatever, doesn't make a difference, and it's like, oh, right, yeah, probably shouldn't do that, so. Alright, fire this up. So what we'll do is after we get a headland, I'll probably grab one of their tractors and hire a worker on this guy, and then we can continue this. So I'll wait for that. There we go. And what we'll do is we'll hire a worker, and then we'll just continually get that filled. And the reason why I wanted to chaff this as opposed to just harvest the corn is because we have the BGA, and it's actually consuming quite a bit of silage. So if we have one bunker that is pretty full with silage, that'll be really good for us, because then we won't have to worry about silage for a little bit at least, and that'll be pretty good. So I don't know how much space this thing needs to turn around, actually. Let me think about that. I think it's okay for the most part, but I'm not certain. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think it needs a lot of space, actually. I think one headland would probably be okay. In all honesty, I think. So what I'll do is after Donald fills up the second time around, I'll grab the other T8 we have, and then I'll grab the what do you call that thing? The forage wagon that we have, and we'll continually unload the forage harvester, and that'll make this job go a little bit quicker, because this job can take a long time if you don't have things working the way they're supposed to. That's one of the reasons why you do use core spell all the time. Like, I suppose you could use like the thing that's called the Big Beast, I think it's called, or something like that, and you can be rolling with that pretty easily. So yeah, so he's like 50% full already, and we've barely finished this first headland. So we bought it. I can't spell. Yep, and we got all the headers too. Oops. Wrong buttons. We got all the headers. 2. There we go. There we go. Is he ready? He's probably typing now. Watch this. I'm just gonna wait a second, because I'm pretty sure he's typing now. Just a guess, though. Alright, now he's ready. Alright, so he's at 65%. It's funny, the glance mod, I don't realize, one of the funny things about the glance mod is I don't like, I'm not a huge fan of it in my single player, because I use course play as well, and what happens is you end up taking a lot of real estate up on your, ooh, that was a bad turn. A lot of real estate on your screen, and I find that can be really, really distracting sometimes when you have too much on the screen. Why is cruise control on? So I actually continue at a decent pace here. Yeah, I can find it really distracting when you have a lot of stuff on the screen. It takes up a lot of real estate. So glance is nicer than an inspector mod, that's for sure. But you know what happens is, like, if you're like, let's say you're doing a live stream. So what I'll have is I'll have my webcam, I'll have soil mod up, I'll have course play up, I'll have, you know, GPS maybe up at the same time. You know, that's because I'm just bad at keeping it all to the same spot. Okay, Donald's almost full, looks like 95%. So this might be enough space for. Might be enough space. Because Donald started this little section here before, so he's almost full. There. He's full. What we'll do is I'll grab this guy, and I don't know where the forage wagon is. I think it's at the main farm. Although it could... Oh, this stuff is here? I didn't know that was here at all. So where on earth is the forage wagon then? That is going to be the next question. Let's find out. The way I end up finding things a lot of the time is I just reset it, which is the worst thing to do. You know, it's at the main farm, so I'm just going to reset it because I don't know where it is. At the main farm. Alright, so let's grab this, and what's the best way to get out of here? That way, I guess? Yeah, I guess that'll work. It's so funny. If you're not used to taking certain ways, I'm trying to think, I'm like, okay, which way is this? Which way is that? One thing I don't understand on this map, though, I'm not sure why they have like this grid pattern going on, and I'm not sure the reasoning behind that. I think it's to do with the way the map was made or something, or it's something to do with like the server plus the way the map was made. I don't know the reason. I'm not sure 100% why though, which is kind of strange. But it definitely happens. I don't know, like every field has it on it though, which is the strange part. It's not just one, every field has that little grid pattern thing going on, so. Here we go. You would never drive this fast on this little type of road. 50 kilometers an hour, you'd be bouncing all over the cab with a tractor, you know, probably taking a dive. So the next thing I think what we'll do is I think we will upgrade, or we'll get the, oh, we have silage there too? Oh, sweet. I think what we'll do is we will upgrade our cow facility and we'll get the mix feeder. Oh, there's silage there too? Jeez, there's silage everywhere now. I didn't realize we had silage everywhere. That's not a bad thing though, I guess. It's good money, I suppose, too, when you have the BGA running. How far is Donald? He's just got to the BGA. So we own that field right there. And I sprayed a little bit of NPK on that field, so hopefully the nutrients are a bit higher. The hard part about grass is trying to keep the nutrients, like, you know, on par. I find, at least. Whatever reason. Like, because you can't, like, plow it up and put manure down to keep the nutrients super high. You can spread slurry, of course. That'll actually work. When you spread slurry, it'll increase only the pK, or only the N, I guess it is, nitrogen, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah. And I guess after you could spray pK if you really wanted to. So, all right. So we should see the forage wagon up here on the right. Somewhere. And there it is. I don't know, I'm bad. Like, I know I don't play the most realistically, and that's fine. That's just the way I play. Deal with it, basically. If you want to watch Realism, go watch somebody else, basically. But I try and incorporate bits of realism, but not like only that, because I don't like playing like that. And that's fine. Everyone's got their own style of play, right? For example, Farmer Beavis likes to play on lots of Russian-style maps. I like to play on German-style maps and American-style maps, so it's all good. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll make this turn here. And hopefully, this guy will be able to... That's kind of a straight line, isn't it? Let's see how this works out. Alright, so cruise control set to 10 kilometers an hour is what I want to set it to. So on the SciTech side panel, you have your little scroll wheel. That's what I'll call it. And you have your little scroll wheel, and that is how you can adjust your cruise control. And it works fairly well, for the most part. I have GPS on right now just so I can stay straight and not run into the tractor right now, but just wanted to check out that view for a little bit. Yeah, but the scroll wheel works really well for like GPS, for like cruise control, but I find it takes like it feels like it takes like a really long time before you can get to the speed you want to get to. It just seems that way, at least. I used to use it quite a bit for the retarder in Euro Truck Simulator, and you can use the same thing for American Truck Simulator, and that works kind of well actually. It's a bit strange because like the way you can scroll it like too many times, I find, and then you kind of go past the like the level you want to go to. Like if you want to go like retarder 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it would be better if it was like a rotary dial type scenario, like you click it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times sort of thing. In my mind, I think that would be the best, but maybe not. Maybe not. Actually, I did see an interesting Kickstarter. Craft Farms. Where did he go? I did see Craft Farms posted an interesting thing on the Google Plus community. By the way, if you want to join that, you can do so. There's a link in the description below. We just do a little vetting process if you want to join. So, anyways, he posted this interesting video of a guy who had like a button box essentially, but it had the button box included like an ignition key as well, which I thought was kind of cool, and a couple rotary buttons, so like you could rotate the buttons and you can also like push the buttons, which I thought was kind of neat. So I thought that was a cool little button box style. So I haven't seen something like that before, not with an ignition key at least. I'll let Donald take over from here. All right, there we go. Ooh. How am I doing that? Oh, apparently I'm getting in his way. There we go. That's better. Let's see. Hired worker. There we go. Now, the hired worker should be fine now because it started its own little pass there, and it should get everything now, I hope. But you never know. There we go. So now Donald's getting filled up there. Excellent. Like a champ. Look at that. That's awesome when it works like that. It's supposed to work that way in with courseplay as well, but it doesn't always work that smoothly, at least. It'll be kind of like a jittery start. But this way works really, really well. So having somebody actually, you know, driving the tractor makes a real world of difference in these types of scenarios. So excellent. Very good. So yeah, that's what it's supposed to work like, and that's how it works like in real life, really. Maybe not that badly with the tractor, the combine, or Ford drivers are turning around, but you know, other than that, you know, minor hiccup, you know, it's not too bad. Not too bad. 1 second, coffee break again. It's funny, some days I think I drink way too much coffee. Some days. Mostly when I get over 3 cups of coffee is when I think I drink too much coffee. Well, there's cornfield there. So yeah, 4 is a cornfield and 10 is a cornfield. And I think that's the only 2 cornfields we have at the moment. I think everything else is... I think we have canola and we have barley on one, I think. I don't know if they drop straw or not. I can't remember, honestly. They may have collected the straw. But now we can chaff the straw too if we really want to. Because I picked up that header, and I picked up so the Ford harvester header, and I picked up the pickup reel as well. So if we want to pick up the straw and chaff it directly, you can do that as well. I do love the OEB weights. They look fantastic. My favorite weight by far. The roller weights are pretty good for silage stuff, but still, OEB weights all the way. Thank you, OEB. Alright, let's unload. Let's see, did Donald compact it? Yeah, he did. That's fine. Excellent. Excellent. It's funny, whenever I say it like that, I always think of... Have you ever seen Aladdin? I always think of Aladdin when I say it like that. One of the bad characters in that, his name was Jafar, if memory serves, and he would always say excellent like that. And he always tap his fingers together going, excellent. Alright. 98 compaction. It's not too bad. 98% compaction, I should say. So we don't have the far silo extension on here, so all of the silage is a traditional way of making silage, so it's silly easy is what I'm trying to say. Well, that's pretty easy to compact that. Gotta hurry up. Donald's at 74%. He's gonna be full soon. Jeez. This is where having the JCB would be really nice. We did have the JCB DLC installed, but a couple people didn't have it for the Patreon server. So, and by the way, if you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so. I'll put a link in the top right-hand corner if you'd like. If you don't want to, that's cool too. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Videos will continue regardless whether you support me or not. I do it because I love doing it. It's a lot of fun, you know. The type of people you meet so many cool people. Like, I never would have met, like for example, Farmer Views is a really good person. I never would have met him if it had not been for Farm Sim and YouTube and whatnot. So, or Caravera76 for example, or Toby Moby, Sugar Beet Master, all that. So I don't know. It's really interesting. I don't know. That's the one thing I like. That's one thing I love about my job too. Like, I meet some really incredible people, and you hear some really amazing stories sometimes too. So that is what I enjoy the most about it. And you know, it's a bit of storytelling is really kind of how it all works together. Now they say in business, strangely enough, that you should tell your story in business as well. So like, people get more involved in telling a story. And I guess I have somewhat told a story as well here. So for example, I think Donald's coming around the corner here. Yeah, there he is. And I've told my story to a certain degree here as well, where like, I really want to get involved in farming somehow, and through the Patreon actually is one of the ways I'm trying to get closer to farming, really. So now I don't necessarily want to become a farmer per se, because it takes a lot to be a farmer these days, and I think that may not be, you know, the best course of action. Like, I don't know, maybe it'll end up that way. I have no idea, right? You know, maybe for now, time will tell. We'll see what happens. But for me right now, I just want to be closer to it, and then maybe if circumstances change and I have, you know, I really want to get involved, you know, maybe that will be the next step. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a small hobby farm, raise some bison, and that's kind of part of my story. Is, you know, it's just the way it is, I guess. So the one downfall of using this trailer, for example, is this only holds 50,000 liters. Or not even, does it hold 50,000 liters? I think it holds a bit less than that, actually. Yeah, not nearly as much as the trailer that Donald's hauling right now. Maybe we'll have to get on one of those. We'll see. But, yeah, so here's that grid thing I was talking about, as you can see. And it's like, it looks like when the author made the map, like he just plunked down like whatever was here before, but it doesn't work that way, because I guess we've already cultivated this field up, so I don't know if it has something to do with cultivating / plowing. I'm not sure. I don't know what the deal is, but definitely something's going on, and it's really strange. So, but yeah, the JCB would be nice. Being able to cruise around at 70 clicks, you know, that's a recipe for disaster with me, at least. So, definitely a recipe for disaster. Oh goodness. So what we'll do is I'll finish up this pass with the forage harvester here, and when it's ready to turn around, I'll stop the episode there. And come back next episode and see what we got on the multiplayer server. Let's see here. Let's see where he goes. Because he may decide to try and... is he going to get the last little bit there? We'll see. Or is he going to get the last little bit? Yes. Nice. Back up here, let him turn around. Anyways, folks, that'll be it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this multiplayer episode on the Patreon server once again. And if you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more multiplayer on Farm Sim 2015. Actually, technically it's Farm Sim 15, but whatever. Anyways, my name is Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys later.